Oh, thank you, Louise, for joining us. If you could tell us a little bit about your journey from banker to doula, that would be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, of course. Yes. So I started out in banking when I was quite young, was about 18, 19 years of age. I worked for Woolwich and then at Dresdner Bank in Fenchurch Street until I had my first daughter when I was 23. Came out of the banking system, which never really felt like it fitted me. And moved from Essex to Cambridgeshire, where I set up my first dance school, and which dance had always been my passion. And yeah, and then things kind of moved me away from banking in that respect. So yeah.
And what was it that you loved about the dance school in particular?
So I'd always danced. When I left school, I went straight into, come out of college, I went into dancing and performing. And then I had always, had the idea I wanted to be a midwife, but I was told that I had to make a choice, that dancers have a relatively short career, so that I should try doing my dance career first, and then I could always come back to midwifery. Fell into banking because I had to get a real job. As you know, society tells us we should always have a proper job that can bring you a constant income and get you onto the property ladder. That was what we were always taught in school and wherever. So realised I had to get myself a proper job, but never really enjoyed it.
Mm.
But the dance was always my passion. So yeah, set up my first dance school when I was 24, and I've been doing that ever since.
Right.
I passed the dance school down to my daughter just last year.
Ah, and now your picture has gone, so I think we'll just carry on because maybe the quality will be slightly better.
Yeah,
But yes, so you decided against the typical midwifery, or not typical, but that path
yeah.
because of the constraints of, or what was your reasoning?
Yeah, yeah. So I came back to looking into becoming a midwife around 10 years ago. And then I started an access to midwifery course. And as I was doing the course, I was already on quite a holistic path, and none of it fitted into my idea of what midwifery should have been, or traditional midwifery is. Um, it was very medicalised, and birth is not a medical event, right? So it just didn't ever feel right. So I stopped the access to midwifery course because I just realised that it was never going to work for me. I did a course with the independent midwives and loved that. They got us reading books by Ina May Gaskin, and lots of other natural midwifery books. And then I learned what a doula was. I was like, wow, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to be able to support women and their families to have, physiological births, uh, doing what they naturally know what to do. Every woman, you know, the female body knows how to birth. It's done it since the start time. So so yeah, and I am also aware
Yeah.
that there are other things that can crop up, but generally can be remedied when you listen to your body, and you naturally know where
Mhm.
you need to position set yourself and what you need to do if you're in tune with yourself. And my job is to help a woman to come back to that.
Because I think if you have a positive birth, it's the most empowering experience of your life. But I'm lucky I didn't have a traumatic birth, but I'd imagine the same can be said about a traumatic birth, that it's the most disempowering
Absolutely. I've had
thing in your
two
life. And
very
then from that,
Yeah, I've had two very traumatic births, which I think
Oh.
cemented why I wanted to do this. Being a very young mum, having my two eldest children, really made me feel like I needed to do this because I had not been given that information when I was that young, you know.
Ah, that's so hard, isn't it? Because then, of course, there's a lot of grief to sort of deal
Yeah,
with, that you didn't
yeah,
have the birth and it was taken out of your hands.
yeah, but it absolutely gives
And is
you
that part of your journey as well to sort of,
heal that. Yeah, healing that has been a big part of my journey, and actually, it's really great that I can, relate to women who choose then to have subsequent births after traumatic birth, to because I can relate to them, to help them through that trauma and to release that trauma and to have the most amazing births and heal that. That for me is also a lovely thing about what I do.
yeah, we've got a great quote on our website that I think it says the whole world can be healed with positive birth, or something like that. Casey is much better at remembering these sayings. Um, and,
Yeah,
and I think that's the power of a positive birth. Yeah. So,
absolutely.
in terms of supporting women, yeah, and how many births have you witnessed now?
It's only five. However, I'm saying only five births. Wonderful. Seeing that transition and the power in the in the you can't put it into words, in the woman's face, the just her knowing I did this is and the connection as well, between them and their babies is just so much. But you can't put it into words, can you? So yeah, it's just amazing. It's everything from start to finish, really. Just even down to fourth stage of labour, and them being in control of keeping, their placenta and encapsulating their placenta,
Yeah.
all of those things that keep them connected to their baby, and delayed cord clamping. All of that is so beneficial for the baby, but also is part of the mother giving that to their child, and
Yeah.
giving them the best start, you know.
Yeah, and the whole process is kept in-house because with my first three, the placenta went off. I was a bit squeamish, and they said, "What do you want to do with it?" And I was like, "Oh, just get rid of it," kind of thing. But
Yeah,
now I know that even the midwives don't know where it ends up. Some people say they're sold, some people say they're boxed up and taken somewhere. But the thing is, we don't know.
no,
And
and it's part of
and
you and your
now with our
baby.
youngest, yes, it's this incredible creation that gave your baby life and food um, and sustenance. And yeah, I buried ours in the garden and planted a rose tree. And to me,
Wow,
that's you don't have to put it in capsules, you don't have to fry it up, you don't
you
have to
don't.
freeze it. You can just bury it, and it's up
Absolutely.
to you though. You're in control.
It's everyone's individual journey.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
And we've only got a couple of minutes left. So if you could tell people how they connect with you and really what some advice or some words of what you've learned really in these past few years.
Okay, so if you do want to connect with me, you can do so on Facebook. I'm Louise Ringshaw Doula, or you can contact me through my Wellbeing Centre, which is Chameleon Wellbeing Centre. That's on Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, if I could give you any advice, it's ask questions. If you are being told that you need to do something, always ask questions, and always check in with what feels right for you. You know what you need to do for you and your baby. even down to things like breech birth. You know, sometimes breech births are meant to be that way because it's the safest way for your baby. And absolutely get hold of, you know, anybody as a birth partner who's going to shout for you when you're in a vulnerable state. And yeah, just do you. Yeah, that's really
Brilliant. Oh, well, that kind of says it all then. Yeah. Oh, well, thank you very much. The quality wasn't great, but I'm hoping that everybody can get us, you know, the majority of what you said.